Hey, what's up? Again, this is Uncle Yang here. So, this is my first content video, and I want to talk about the credit score. So, the credit score is such a unique US thing. I think only widely used in the States. Um, and when I just moved here, I hear people talk about, hey, Young, you need to keep a very good credit score, otherwise your life will be messed up. So I'm like, okay, what is credit score? It kind of makes sense just when you, by listening to that, it's something related to your credit. But how really that work? Like how you can get a good credit score and what you can do with your good credit score. Nobody talk about it. And then when I start to live longer in the US, I realize a lot of the young people have that question. Because if you think about it, there's no school, like a high school, they don't really talk about credit score. But it's such an important thing that play in everyone's life here, and that I think everyone should know about it. So that's why I started this video. I hope what I learned as a new immigrant 10 years ago and what I did so far can really help you. So a little bit about my credit score. My credit score is always contained in a very great level. So my current, I think, is around 760 or 770. I think the total score is like 850. So above 800 is very, very hard. I don't know how many percent people in the population can get to 800, maybe only 5 or 3%. But if you're above 720, that's good enough. Okay, so how does that work? If you're immigrants like me, when you get approved by the work visa or green card, you should assign a number called social security number. And if you are born in the US, if you were born here, you will naturally have that social security number the first day you land in this land. Okay, so very important thing, do not share that social security number with anyone if you don't know what they are going to do with it. So in short words, don't share it. Do not share it. That's it. Keep that to yourself. Best way is put it somewhere that's safe. They have a social security cards. You put it somewhere that's safe, and you memorize that number yourself. Okay, and then because what I heard and the people around me, what happened to them is, them parents, of course, know their social security number, and some irresponsible parents will use that number to borrow money or open some credit accounts, things like that, and then the parent never run a good credit activity on the stuff they applied on them kids' social security number. So when them kids turn to 18 or 20, get them job trying to get a credit card, they cannot, because them social security number being used by them parents without even notify the kids. The kids they don't know, and then them just number already messed up the first day they are aware of their credit score. So that's why if you are watching my video, you are about, I don't know your age, but if you are like about the age that you are going to enter this real society world, about to work, let's say 17, 18, ask your parents, where's your social security card at? What's your social security number? And keep that card to yourself in a safe place, okay? It's not, I'm saying don't trust your parents, but it's always good to keep that to yourself, because it's such an important thing that you are going to play, you are going to need in in the US, so you can play the later game for your life. Okay, that's number one. Number two, okay, let's say you start to work. Okay, you get your first job. You turn to 18, you get your first job. Maybe 20. Okay, I don't know. But let's say you get your first job, and you work for about 6 months, and you never quit in the middle. You never stop your job in the middle, and you can prove you can continue to do that job. At that time, you most likely can go to a bank or credit union and get your credit card. And this very first credit card is a very important start point to build your credit score. Okay, so that's how I did. When I got my first full-time job, I did about 5 or 6 months, and then I go to the local credit union, got my very first credit card. And I remember that time they only allow me to borrow about 1,500. Okay, so the number may vary, may be different. If you get a higher pay job, you may have a higher wage on the credit you can borrow on your card. If you have a lower pay job, they may allow only 250 or 500, especially for a student. Okay, but it's all okay. This is how you can use that very first credit card to improve your credit score. Here's what you're going to do. Let's say your weekly pay is about 500. It's just example. Okay, because most of the kids will probably only work part-time and they still have to maintain them studying. So 500 kind of like a reasonable range. And when you want to use their credit card to buy anything, making sure you can pay that amount right away. Let's say, okay, I want to buy a Starbucks coffee from Starbucks, $5, $6, something like that. Yes, go ahead, use your credit card. Please use your credit card. And when you swipe your credit card, they charge your credit card, right? That $6 charge your credit card. And that start to your journey to build your credit score. So instead of charge your saving account or debit card, a credit card will report those amounts that charge on the card to the credit union. Okay. And then if you can pay them right back, that way you do not need to pay any interest on your credit card. So all the credit cards have a very high interest, usually around 25 to 30%. That means if you borrow 100 in a year, 25% you have to pay $25 interest. That's why I said at the first place, if you can pay your credit card right away, pay it right away, so you don't have to pay any interest, because the interest only calculates by the end of the month, I believe, or end of a period. So basically it's like a 30 days period for the credit union or the bank. So if you just purchase some small amount, please use your credit, because that way you can build your credit score history, and you can pay your credit card back right away, so you don't have to pay any interest. So if you want to purchase some large amount purchase, let's say new computer, new TV, or even new car, things like that, think about how much you could pay back right away. If you cannot, you may consider a loan, a personal loan or car loan or whatever loan instead of use a credit card. Because what happens is, if you cannot pay your credit card back on time, it starts to lower your credit score. And that could happen just because you're simply missing a one payment. Maybe you're not doing that on purpose, but if you forget about it, that's gonna lower your credit score, because that's considered late pay. Okay, so one way you can do that is to turn on the auto payment in your bank account. Okay, so again, if it's large purchase, I will encourage you based on your financial standard, get a personal loan for that. But never ever apply a loan that beyond your financial standard. Okay, let's say if 1 month you can make about $2,000, then every month that loan you applied every month should be less than 500 is what I will say. Okay, so you can have some other money left, like 1,500 left at least for your rent and food, things like that. Because whatever loan you're going to borrow, even in the future you borrow a mortgage, that should not affect or lower down your living standard. That's very important. Okay, so you can start with the car loan. That's how I start. So when you work your full-time job for about a year, you should be able to get a car loan based on your income. Okay, like I said, I will recommend only 25% of your annual income at the most. So let's say if your first job gave you 50,000 a year, then when you try to purchase a car, you should think about something around no more than 12,000. Okay, that car value, and then you can get a car loan from the credit union or the bank with a reasonable interest, and then pay that car loan back every month. And when you pay that car loan back, try to pay a little bit more than the minimum payment. So one way you can build a stronger credit score, another way you can pay that loan off quickly. Okay, so credit score basically is a measurement to tell the banks or the credit union that if this person who trying to borrow money from us, can we trust him or her? That's what the credit score used for, most likely in your life. Okay, if you don't need to borrow money, don't borrow money. But I will say have a few credit card open, just to do some small amount monthly purchase here and there, and that way can build your credit score in a long run. And once you have a good credit score, you can easily approve the with a better interest, large amount, things like that. So if you are a normal family kid, please follow what I just said, because credit score can give you access way to borrow money, like the mortgage or the car loan at the very first beginning of your career start, and you can start to build your own legacy from there. Okay, if you're just trying to save your own money to buy a house these days, it's basically impossible without your parents' help. Okay, unless you're in a top tier industry. Okay, you get paid six figures right away, but that's like the 1 out of 100 possibilities. So if you are a very normal kids from a normal family, your parents can't give you too much support, a good credit score is very, very important. Never ever mess it up. So like I said very first beginning, do not share that with anyone. Okay, the only one you may possibly share is your partner, but still be careful about that, because some partner may use your credit score. You really need to know that person well enough. Okay, my advice is, if you don't know that person well enough, keep that to yourself, or just keep that to yourself, period. Okay, because if you mess up your credit score once, trying to recover from that point is very, very hard. Okay, let's say if someone somehow borrowed too much loan on their social security number and bring their credit score, where borrow itself will send an inquiry. It's called inquiry, and that will already beat down credit score. And then if you start to missing the payment, it's gonna make your credit score even go lower, And then if you cannot make all the payments or some of the payments on the loans or mortgages, you may have to enroll something called a debt settlement program or even bankrupt. And those records will exist on your credit report for 7 years. 7 years, yes. So if you did some dumb stuff at 25 plus 7 years, you do the math, at least 32 years, then you can again build your credit again. So how many 7 years do you have in your life? Not many. That's why I say do not mess up your credit score at the very first place. So number one, do not share with anyone your social security number. 2, get your credit card after you enroll your full-time job for about 6 months, and only do small purchase and pay those amount right away. Because the reason you have a credit card, maybe 1, maybe 2, is because you use that to build your credit score. That's it. Nothing but a credit score. You are not going to use your credit card to overcharge yourself to get something big. Okay, it's not how you do it. 3, if you in your job in a year or 2, you can consider get yourself a new car. You can get a car loan, okay? But that car loan cannot be beyond 25% of your annual income. This way, you are not going to lower down your life standard, okay? You don't want to get a loan that is maximum your annual income, then there's nothing left after you pay that loan back, okay? But if it's a reasonable amount of loan, it does build your credit score as well. So that's the 3 ways. And those 3 ways, the rest two, the credit card and loan, it takes time. Okay, it may take 2-3 years to level up your credit score. So my credit score at the very first beginning was about 600 and 620, something like that. And then it's all the way slowly climbing up during the past 10 years to finally today's 750, 760. So it's not like a 1-day process or 1 month process. It's not like you watch my video and do what I say, and 2 months later, you hope your credit score becomes 700 plus. No, it's not like that. It's slowly climbing up. You do what I said for a couple years, it may from 600 to 700. Another couple years, 700 to 730, things like that. So once you have that good history and also yourself have that good habit, your credit score will go stronger. And then one good thing about have a good credit score is if something emergency happen in your life, you can take a personal loan out easy, okay, to cover that emergency event, okay? That's one positive thing to do. But other than that, it's basically just a mortgage and a car loan from what I can tell. But you do want a good credit score, like I said, if you're just from a normal family, your parents cannot give you support, you make your own living by yourself totally, a credit score is your best support in your life, okay? A good credit score, because you can get the access money earlier in your early age to purchase a house and cars, and then pay them back with a very reasonable interest, okay? That's the thing. If you're trying to save your money to do all that, I don't know how many years you're gonna save with today's inflation. So I hope this video answer some questions that people have and also help them in some ways. And in the future, I may post a video about what if you're in a debt, how to relieve those debts, and also talk about some other finance stuff, okay? And if you like this video, please subscribe and share, and thank you very much.